Before I get started, notice the little Austin Powers gold member thing is not behind my head this time. I put that up in the interview with the Etch guys because I didn't want you to see that big white bonding, whatever the hell it is, behind me, where you bond the two wall boards together. But since it's not that kind of an important video, I'm going to change the scenery for you guys. You get to stare at this busted looking wall until it's finished. Which should be this time, Monday. And I've got a little present. Here we go. That I'm going to have to share with Sergio. Sergio, you kind of cut my fiber optic line. Thank goodness I have this little backup cable. Thank goodness. And I did find a company that sells fiber optic parts and connectors and things like that and cable. And they said, hey, he's like, I know some people. I know a guy who's kind of semi-retired, probably be just the right kind of guy to come out to your house. Some of these places don't do anything unless it's commercial. And I'm like, all right, cool. So the guy calls me. Yeah, I can come out. It'll be Tuesday though. And we'll just basically put a new end piece like this on the cable. I mean, I've got like at least 10 foot sitting over there in the corner. But it's going to cost $275. And guess who's not paying that? This guy. So Sergio, I love you. But Sergio is going to have to come off $275 off that bill for his sins, or his workers' sins, whoever did it, cutting my cable. And I said in the beginning, Sergio, you see that cable down there, that blue cable? That's fiber optic. You got to be really, really careful when you're doing work in here that you don't crimp it to, it can't really be bent real tight. And you certainly don't want to cut it, because if it's cut, it's going to be bad. It's cut, and it's bad. So there goes $275, which again will come out. And again, one other thing I want to mention before I really get started on this particular video, off topic a little bit here. I'm sure you all remember Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby. There is a guy on YouTube named himself the Marty Ray Project. Okay? Marty, M-A-R-T-Y. Marty Ray Project. Just search for that. Marty Ray Ice Baby. You want to hear a rendition of Ice Baby that is pretty close to flipping amazing. That's the dude. And he does a lot of other songs, but I just felt like I needed to share that with you, because if you hear it, you're like, holy crap, that sounds really good. Totally different than what you expect. It's not a rap. He's singing it. Sounds fantastic, and it's been in my head all flipping day. So I just listened to it before I started this video to get it, get my fix, if you will. So, about that company that hasn't been profitable yet. Well, one of a few I keep talking about. That would be Tesla. Hasn't made a good profit yet. Matter of fact, any profit, as a matter of fact. Zero hedge. Amid management exodus, Tesla fires hundreds of workers. 1 month after Tesla lost its head of business development, who wished to spend more time with his family, and just weeks after the EV company's, or electric vehicle company's, veteran battery technology director also unexpectedly quit amid a growing senior management exodus. Full list is at the bottom of this article, he says. Tesla decided to even outrank, let me back up. But first of all, I know it's a little echoey, and that's because I'm sitting in this room with really nothing in it, but walls and a ceiling. And as soon as I get my furniture and carpet, I'm assuming the echoing will pretty much stop. Just an FYI, that should be Monday the room is finished. Wednesday the carpet gets installed. We should be good to go. And then I can't wait to show you it at that point, because I'm super psyched. Okay, so after this senior management exodus, Tesla decided to even out the ranks on the bottom as well, and fired hundreds of workers this week, including engineers, managers, and factory workers, even as the company struggles to expand its manufacturing and product line, according to the Mercury News. which first reported of the mass layoffs. Workers estimated between 400 and 700 employees have been fired, although Tesla refused to say how many employees were let go, and added that it expects employee turnover to be similar to last year's attrition. Tesla employs about 10,000 workers at its Fremont factory. It lost $336 million in just the second quarter and burned through a record $1.16 billion in cash in quarter two, or $13 million every single day. I just can't understand. Let me just pull up this chart for the, actually just take a look over here. This is December 2011 on the December 2011 to January 2017. Tesla free cash flow. We do have one little blip of green here, and these two that you need a microscope to see. But you also, if we're looking at trends, I look at data points, trends myself. If there's a trend, how's that trend looking? Right? Because if this was a chart, you're looking at a chart, whatever, like a stock trading chart, you would say, okay, you just draw a line from here straight down to here. And that's really, really, really bad news. I mean, that's horrible. How is this company staying in business? Maybe the same reason Snapchat is staying in business. Hasn't been profitable yet. The future doesn't look profitable, as they said themselves at the company. But investors seem to love it, so they'll just burn through all the investor cash, I guess. In September, Tesla announced it was cutting 63 positions at Solar City Corp's Roseville, California office. The staff was dismissed after Tesla bought the company, which manufactures and installs rooftop solar panels for about $2 billion in 2016. Solar City had over 12,200 employees at the end of 2016. The dismissals come at a critical point for the company, which is scrambling to increase vehicle production fivefold and reach a broader market with its new Model 3 sedan. The electric vehicle maker missed targets for producing the lower cost sedan, manufacturing only 260 last quarter, despite a wait list of more than 450,000 customers. It was later revealed by the Wall Street Journal that Tesla's dirty secret for the unexpected production problem is that it was banging out parts of the Model 3 by hand. Not an actual robotic assembly plant, no, by freaking hand. I can just see this. Everyone's talking about the Tesla. Oh, it's so cool. And then they finally go under, right? They finally go out of business. Guys, who's going to make all those parts for you? You got all these Teslas on the road. Who's going to make those parts for you guys? Actually, nobody. So let's just hope, fingers crossed. We might need a double finger crossed on this one, that somehow Tesla just keeps chugging along, burning through $13 million a day. That's not burning out of profits. That's burning cash flow. Okay, just to be clear on that. According to the Mercury News, this week's dismissals have not been reported to the State Employment Development Department, a spokeswoman said. The state generally requires companies to report layoffs of more than 50 employees in a 30-day period. Tesla countered that the performance-based departures were not considered layoffs and not subject to state notifications. Tesla, come here. Step into my office. Why? Because you're freaking fired. They countered that the performance-based departures were not considered layoffs and not subject to state notifications. Don't you love when people reinterpret stuff? In an absurd demonstration of Elon Musk's bizarre management style, the company said the mass terminations have generally boosted worker morale. Someone tell me that this is a fake story right now, that I'm not reading this off of Zero Hedge as real news, that this is fake news, and this is an Onion skit. We're firing the living hell out of everybody. We're not calling it laying off because we're calling it a performance type of a thing. You're underperforming, so you're not laying off, letting go of people. And that has kicked in morale. Morale could not be higher. Guys, we're firing everybody left and right. Press statement, please. Yeah. The morale is unbelievably high. I've already told you this before. When you start to see upper management leaving a company, that is the telltale sign the party is nearing its end. That's how it's always been. Now, if Tesla can pull off some kind of Hail Mary and just continue this year, next year, 2019, it'll be pretty interesting to watch, for one thing. But who's right? Who's coming up with these lines here? Oh, gosh. Generally boosted worker morale, as high-performing employees have been rewarded. It was unclear what the 700 layoffs, or exit events, did to worker morale. While the company said this week's dismissals were the result of a company-wide annual review, claiming some workers received promotions and bonuses, and expects to hire for the vast majority of new vacancies, insisting the mass terminations were not layoffs, some critics have noted that these are layoffs, plain and simple, as a company does not fire 700 people at the same time in the middle of the year due to performance issues. Listen, when you're making car parts for your vehicle by hand, you've got more issues than this little, he said, she said, proper grammar, what was defined, what my interpretation was. As with any company, especially one of over 33,000 employees, performance reviews also occasionally result in employee departures. A spokesman said, Tesla is continuing to grow and hire new employees around the world. What about in United States? You said around the world. What about the United States? Is that included in part of that statement, or do I need to reinterpret that one? Still validating the argument that these were indeed layoffs, in interviews, former and current employees told the Mercury News little or no warning preceded the dismissals. In other words, we need you to pick up slack over there. You're clocking out 10 minutes early. You're a little slow on the assembly line because we use you as the assembly line, not robots. Nope, no nothing. Just, hey, have a nice day. You're fired. The workers interviewed include trained engineers working on vehicle design and production, a supervisor, and factory employees. Workers spoke on the condition of anonymity because they feared reprisals from the company. Employees said the firings have lowered morale through many departments. Several said Model X, Model S, and former Solar City operations seem to be targeted. Among those fired was Juan Maldonado, a production worker who felt the tap on his shoulder on Thursday. He worked at Tesla for nearly 4 years and said he heard about 60 other workers in his section of the factory were dismissed. Maldonado, 48, said he ran late for work twice in recent months, but thought he had straightened things out with his supervisor. Now he said, I'm going to try to find a job. The dismissals come after Tesla said it built just 260 Model 3 sedans during the third quarter, less than a fifth of its 1,500 unit forecast. The company has offered scant details about the problems it's having producing the car, although the previously noted Wall Street Journal report suggests that Tesla is having severe manufacturing bottlenecks, forcing workers to build parts of the Model 3 by hand. The vehicle's entry price starts around $35,000, roughly half the cost of Tesla's least expensive Model S sedan. When unveiling the Model 3, Elon, or Musk, joked to employees they would be going through production hell to meet demand for the new car. Guess he wasn't kidding. Little did the employees know that he would come in the form, or hell would come in the form of a pink slip. As Bloomberg notes, a delayed ramp-up risks the ire of some of the almost 500,000 reservation holders who started paying $1,000 deposits early last year. On October 12th, Tesla Chief Executive Officer Elon Musk posted a video on Instagram of what he said was a stamping press producing body panels for the Model 3. Musk had told investors the company is focused on Model 3 production and expects to eventually build 10,000 cars a week. Manufacturing will become highly automated, but Musk told investors during the early ramp-up he expected high overtime costs. Meanwhile, Tesla has faced ongoing discontent from some factory workers who have complained about work conditions and wages below the auto industry average. So he's paying these people less than they're worth. Tesla has a hearing before the National Labor Relations Board in November for charges that company supervisors and security guards harassed workers distributing union literature. Tesla has denied the accusations. In other words, guys, we ain't getting paid crap here. We need to unionize, get paid some kind of decent wages. And now they're alleging harassment. Oh, that, based off of everything I've just read, I don't think Tesla would do such a thing like that. You know, Mr. Elon Musk. No. Sounds like he knows exactly what he's doing. He's running a great company. And he's not firing people. He's not letting, you know, what was that word again they try to get by? What was the word? I gotta get the right word again. Let go and dismissals. Oh, I gotta find this. I gotta be right here. Layoffs. Not considered layoffs. That's like going to an airport, gotta get off the plane, get on another plane. That's not. Oh, so I gotta go through a layover? Oh, come on. No, sir, it's not a layover. You're just gonna temporarily sit down outside of the airplane and then get on a new airplane. It sounds like a layover. No, it's a temporary seating infraction you're gonna have to deal with. Oh boy. I do wish Tesla the best of luck. I mean, people get on the case of cryptocurrencies, but you've got companies here that haven't made a profit yet. They've been in business for years. And here we are getting upset at the cryptos. It didn't double my money in 2 weeks. My money's not tripling in a few days. Oh boy. Take care.